Dobar dan i dobrodošli u Pola sata Demostata. Moje ime je Tamara Bajčić, a naš današnji gost je Pukovnik Pjetro Mostardi, vojni ataše Evropske unije u Srbiji. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thanks to have invited me, and it's a pleasure for me to be here.
It's really a pleasure to have you actually here and to have an opportunity to talk about these extremely important questions when it comes to military cooperation between Serbia and the European Union.
Okay, yes, it's a pleasure for me to talk about what are the relationship between the EU and Serbia from the military point of view, and what are the projects that we are carrying out together.
So you are the very first military attaché of the European Union in Serbia. You were appointed back in March 2021. What have been your activities since you were appointed to duty, and what are your plans?
Actually, I was appointed in 2019, and I'm here since October 2019, but I became operational in the first month of 2020. Then there was COVID, and everybody knows what COVID means. I mean, there was a big delay in everything, and also my functions were limited. And 2 years ago, the EIS started to actually activate my full functions, and now I'm operational in four countries. Serbia is I'm based in Serbia, but I work also in North Macedonia, Montenegro, and Albania.
When it comes to military cooperation between Serbia and the European Union, it's perhaps the most important part of our conversation here. What's your opinion? What are the biggest results in this cooperation so far, and what are the plans for the future cooperation?
Cooperation with Serbia started in 2020. I remember that on the 2nd of June of 2020, I was in the office of General Mojsilovic. I remember the day because it is the Republic Day in Italy, I mean, the day of the Republic in my country. And I propose a list of activities and projects of which we could discuss about. And then we decide to develop a collaboration in demining for humanitarian purposes. This project at that time started with the phase number 1, which was to prepare 10 experts from the MOD to be ready to demine with the last EU, between brackets, technique. I mean, with the technique of the EU countries. And in fact, in 2021, on November, there was the delivery of the awards, which was done by my ambassador of the European Union. And it was a big success because it was a tangible example of what we can do together. No?
Yes, of course. EU donations, there is a lot of donations coming from the European Union, not just in military, let's say in military part, but also in other parts. But when it comes to military domain, what were exactly donations last year? And do you know perhaps what's the budget for 2024?
Actually, when you speak about donation, it's an important issue because, as far as I understand, in Serbia there is not a lot of advertisement about what the EU is donating to Serbia. Not only from the military point of view, because the military point of view is the very little part. As far as I know, more than 300 million euros every year have given to Serbia just to improve the Serbian capabilities. What does it mean? To give Serbia the possibility to enter the EU to allow Serbia to be ready to enter the EU. But I don't see any advertisement about this. No. Concerning the defense, I am not aware about a specific fund given for Serbia for collaboration, but we have done a lot. I mean, because also this project of which I talked to you before, the preparation of military personnel in demining, he had a cost. And there is also another step in this project that should be done in the near future, in which Serbia should receive equipment for demining. So only equipment. I was informed a few days ago that the tender for this, you know what does tender mean, no? Yes. The tender expired because there were no companies with the characteristics that the EU is asking attend our our tenders. And it's a pity because it's. I hope that Serbia will succeed in fixing as soon as possible this gap, this problem, and we will be with them and we will repeat.
Yeah, that's actually good information, and it gives us an opportunity for future, I would say.
That being said, this year, however, Serbia is going to receive the money which was allocated last year for the Balkan Medical Task Force, because Serbia, along other 5 countries, is part of the Balkan Medical Task Force, along with North Macedonia, Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Slovenia. They are part of the Balkan Medical Task Force. They received 6 million euros last year to improve the capability of this task force, and the EU funded for free this money will be delivered to the member countries, not to Slovenia, because Slovenia is part of the EU, and the European facility funds cannot be given to the member countries, only to the countries which are outside.
Another important topic is joint military missions that we have. So what's Serbia's contribution when it comes to joint military missions between Serbia and European Union, and which countries are also involved?
The missions and operations, CSDP, Common Security Defense Policy. Serbia is collaborating to the EU Common Security Defense Policy with the 3 missions and 1 EU operation. There is a difference between mission and operation in the EU, because in the missions you are allowed to use the lethal fire only for self-defense. In the operation, it depends. You are substituting to the authorities, to the local authorities, and you can decide when and if to use the lethal fire. Serbia is nowadays collaborating in 3 EU missions. So the first is the EUTM Mozambique, which is actually the last one, Mozambique. EUTM stands for EU Training Mission. And Serbia is providing one officer in this mission, but it's the beginning. 6 military personnel are provided in EUTM Somalia, EU Training Mission Somalia, and 7 personnel are employed in EUTM Central Republic of South Africa. So it's a good collaboration from Serbia, and we are happy with this. Of course, there is room to improve, but it shows that Serbia wants to be part of the EU, wants to collaborate in the common security and defense policy.
And it's very good that it is visible that Serbia actually showed.
Visible. And they are working very well. No discussion about the professionality and capability of the Serbian military personnel at all. And Serbia is also joining the Helbrok, the EU battle group, which is led by Greece. And Serbia is providing 1 military platoon, around 50 people, plus 1 team in CIMI, cooperation, civil and military cooperation, and we are happy about this.
So, Colonel Mostardi, there is a PESCO project. Is Serbia involved in this project?
I know that Serbia would like to join the PESCO project, and we are pushing in the same direction. PESCO project, PESCO stands for Permanent Structured Cooperation, is not something in the hands of the EU. It's in the hands of the member countries. What does it mean? It means that the EU doesn't decide if you can or cannot enter the PESCO project. The countries decide it. PESCO project, in the beginning, were open only to member countries. Since the end of 2019, it was open also to the third countries. And in this sense, Serbia can join the projects open to the third countries. Of course, there are some conditions that you have to overcome. There are 3 conditions before entering the PESCO project. There are political conditions, there are substantive conditions, and there are legal conditions. Political condition, you have to share the EU, mainly you have to share the EU values and principles, and of course we are on the same frequency. Concerning the substantive conditions, you have to provide an additional value. I mean, you cannot enter a PESCO project only because you want to enter a PESCO project. You have to convince the countries which are part of that project that you can provide an added value. In this sense, so they can accept you. And legal conditions require that the third state has a security information agreement with the EU, which is in force. So, I mean, it's important to underline this, because you cannot enter the PESCO project only because you want to be part of a PESCO project. You need to demonstrate to the others that you are in the condition to provide an additional value. And of course, all the countries have to agree before you enter the PESCO projects are divided. Nowadays there are 68 projects, if I remember well. The number is changing because sometimes when you close one and you open another. But for the time being, there should be 68 projects. And several countries are part of these projects. Not all countries, 3, 4, 5. And so when there is one nation which is the leading nation, and when you want to enter one of these projects, which is open to the third countries. Not all projects are open to the third countries for security reasons, but several of them are open to the third countries. You have to convince the member countries, and of course the EU will support you, but the country decide, not the EU.
So, Colonel Mostardi, you stated that both NATO and the European Union are very active in this region of ours, in the Western Balkans. Why is NATO important for the security of this region?
Actually, I wouldn't like to talk about NATO because I'm an EU. I'm employed in the EU environment, but of course, NATO continues to be an element of stability in the Balkans, thanks to KFOR in particular, thanks to the deployment of KFOR under the 1244 resolution. But also Altea is important because Altea operation in BIH is carrying out an outstanding activity and is the same at the same level of KFOR.
Okay, thank you for having a side of NATO as well. And
there is actually, just to talk more about Altea. Altea is under the Berlin Plus agreement. It means that we use some assets of NATO, but there is also in the Western Balkans there is also EULEX, which is a civilian mission, even if it's more on it's a rule of law mission, but there are policemen inside, not only policemen, also other people. It's an important activity in the Western Balkans. So the EU is present in the Western Balkans a lot.
And it's good that we emphasize that the EU is present in military context as well here. How do you comment on the attitude of Serbian public when it comes to European Union and cooperation between Serbia and European Union in general?
Positive. Even if I would appreciate maybe more advertisement on what the EU is carrying out in Serbia. The EU is very involved in Serbia. Our delegation is deeply involved in all activities to support Serbia at any time and at 360 degrees. Now there is also the military, expert inside. There is also the defense attaché. So the attitude is good, but probably a better advertisement would help people to understand what we do and what we could do more also. And as I said before, possibly, people probably don't know the quantity of donation that Serbia is giving that the EU is giving to Serbia. Better advertisement would help this.
Yes. And we also hope that TV shows and podcasts like this is also going to be very helpful in this regard. There is a Schuman Security and Defense Forum that is going to take place in the end of May this year. Why is it good for Serbia to be a participant in this kind of forum?
It's the second time that Serbia is invited to join the Schuman Forum. Last year, it was a success. as understood. And I hope that this year Serbia will join Schuman Forum 2. Schuman Forum is a large international dialogue table and aims at facilitating high-level dialogue on international peace, security and defense issues between the EU and the EU member states and partners. It's a consequence of the strategic compass that the European Union inaugurated on March 2022. The forum will aim at shedding light on how ongoing and potential peace, security and defense partnership can respond to the most pressing security threats and challenges. We really hope that Serbia will be part of this forum again
and then take a participation in that. So you're actually leaving Serbia in October this year.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes. What is your opinion about Serbia and you're staying here since 2019? Is there any message that you would like to say for Serbian public? How do you see that in general? Something personally.
Serbia is a great country. It's a great country, and I learned to love people in these years, because it's 5 years that I'm joining Serbia, and I see a lot of European culture inside, and vice versa, because as you said before, you go abroad very often, mainly in the EU. So I hope really that Serbia will succeed in be part of the EU as soon as possible, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Colonel Mostardi. It was a great message for the end. Gledali ste još jednu epizodu Pola sata Demostata. Hvala vam što nas pratite i gledate. Do sljedećeg viđenja prijatno i ne zaboravite da lajkujete i ostavite svoj komentar i naravno pretplatite se na naš kanal ukoliko to već niste uradili.